It's Animu time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're going to have a look at the Figma SP166. It's Gendo Ikari from the Rebuild of Evangelion, which you can tell by the design that he has the visor on and not the glasses, which I like the glasses. But anyway, Gendo Ikari is one of the main characters of the Evangelion franchise, showed up in just about every version, and is in fact also the dad of the main character, which we don't have a figma of. Figure that one out. But regardless of that, I'm happy we finally get some more Evangelion. I hope we get a Shinji down the line, but let's have a look at Gendo. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and comment down below. Please engage with the video. It really helps me out, helps that YouTube algorithm to other people find my channel. And for the question of the day, who's your favorite Evangelion character? Size of the Gendo, he stands at about 16 centimeters to the top of his head. Like, why is the instructions lying? It sounds like 16 and a half, I don't want to see that. And 6.4 inches tall. Size comparisons.
He is Jolter, the SH Figure Art Son Goku, Figma Rei Ayanami, the Robot Spirits Eva 01, Snail Shell Grisa, and Darkseid.
Overall look in detail, I mean, it is a very simple design, so I can't really fault them for going too deep into detail. And this is like one where I felt like it really could have used some shading, but Figma usually doesn't do shading. I love the mold of the hair, but again, like a little bit of shading would have been nice. However, we do have a little bit of metallic. Look at the visor. What I even gotta give them credit for, you have like the blue metallic, the red metallic, and then like the plain black on it, like the matte black. Also the face, you know, he has his cheekbones, so there's a decent amount of detail in there, also in the beard. It's all nicely molded, and the paint job is clean from what I can tell. Also, we do have a little bit more metallic in the jacket, which is like really glossy on the upper part. The zipper on the other hand isn't really painted so cleanly. The line, it's a little bit wobbly, but you know, obviously this is like a small detail when I'm going in. What is underneath his jacket looks kind of weird. Like they really didn't care much for molding this cleanly, but the jacket's over it, so again, not really too bad. Then we do have some more glossiness on his wrists, and he has the white gloves on there. Also, like, why do you put, like, again, you don't really see that much, but the ball joint in there is like skin color. Why is that not white? Then we move down to the pants, and oof, what is this diaper part? I don't understand this. Like, why did they not just make the cut go up a little bit higher? His pants look weird. Like, just, it looks like he has like shorts over it. Why did they do that? Also in the back, we have a butt. Not really that much, but yeah. That part is not great. Then we go down to his long pants, which have a little bit of wrinkles on there. Again, the mold's nice, and the paint, you know, like you have this flat paint, the matte paint job going on throughout it. I mean, that works, especially for like office worker pants or whatever you want to call this. Down to the brown shoes, which again, a lot more matte tone. Not really that much going on, but I mean, that is the design of the character, and the figure does a good enough job. For the articulation, we do have some new experimenting stuff. So we do have a ball joint that goes into the ball hinge and then just packs into the hat. Different from the usual stuff, I feel like, or like it's packed in differently. So the hat is like super blocked because you have the beard in the front, and then in the back, let me move that all the way up. You can tell it gets like a lot of range, but you do have a big hole in the neck as a result of that, and also like the jacket gets a little bit in the way, but you can move that. Also, we do have the neck is on a ball, so if you combine the two, really pull them forward quite nicely, and then it really goes to the back without, I'm gonna try this without disconnecting the peg in there. It works, but it does leave a little bit desired when it comes to gap. Then we have the ball hinge that goes into another ball, and this one is like your standard stuff. You can rotate this around, bring it back and forth, and shift it up and down. However, the jacket really blocks any kind of forward movement. Like it does. They did make a cut over there, so they definitely follow that, but I don't know. That's not great. And also, well, the hinge does its job of bringing it up and down good enough, and then also can be swiveled on there without any trouble. Then you have a big ball hinge in the elbow, which looks fine again. bit gappy, but you can bring that up and down, and you can also swivel it on the forearm and also like the upper part a little bit if you hold on to it, but don't break it off. So just be careful that you have it always in the right angle. Then you have the fist, which is on a ball hinge, standard stuff. It's a little bit blocked obviously by the sleeves, but you can bring that back and forth. Can be swiveled around. Then for the chest area, upper part of the torso, doesn't really do that much, and then the head just kind of pops off. I mean, the peg in there, it likes to disconnect a little bit if you move it around. But yeah, for the chest, we mostly have a swivel. I don't really get that much back and forth motion out of it. But what we do have on the lower half, you can actually pull this one out for the hip part. Kind of like a pull joint. And that works for like sitting poses, which I think is very important for this kind of character because he sits or stands menacingly most of the time. Also can be swiveled and does tilt side to side. You know, have like a nice rotation in there. So overall, that's a pretty good joint. Then for the legs, yeesh, what happened? So obviously, once again, since it's such a big pants, since the pants are so big, they also have gaps in it, and we also have like a little bit of paint kind of rubbing on to the pant, the soft plastic pants. But yeah, I mean, it works fine enough. It really bends all the excess plastic that you have in here, which just goes back to the point that this was not a good design choice. Goes out to the side, and also if you move it too far like that, this soft plastic just gonna get crumpled up and die. So yeah. Then we also have a swivel on there. It works, but doesn't look great. Then we have ball hinge in the knee and another ball hinge in the foot, which, yeah, this one, it really needed a double ball in there because they really just kind of slapped that on. As such, you don't really get that much out of it. And like the ball, there is some wiggle motion in there. Let me try the other foot, but you have a little bit of shifting, but tiny, the tiniest of bit. And then like, yeah, no, it doesn't really work because there's not really any room. Great. And you also have a toe hinge. For the accessories, you got the Figma base, which is included with every Figma ever. You have like the Figma logo on there, some hinges, and you can rotate this or take this off if you're not familiar with the Figma base. You also get the Figma bag. Always included with everything. And then we have his weird Cyclops face, which I gotta be honest with you guys, I never finished Rebuild, but you know, we have some nice glossiness in there. But I watched Rebuild 1 and 2 when they came out. I kind of forgot about 3, and then, you know, it took like 9 years for 4 to come out, or 3+1, whatever the hell that means. And then we got some weird stuff. Like, I say that also, like, here's like the replacement packs for the hands. Whee! We have a different jacket. What's different about this jacket? It's a little bit crumpled up on the side. Why is it crumpled up on the side? Well, so you can put his hand in his pocket. Yes, we have an accessory for that. To swap out the jacket, you just have this one. And, well, how do you put the hand in the pocket? You have this extra arm piece, which is folded up on this side, so you can put the hand in there. And then you have the hand with like a little extra piece on there, just to kind of signal that he's going for the pants. Like, why not just make... Yeah, that's why we have... yeah, that's why we have the holes in there. I didn't even notice that. But why do we have the hole on the other... Okay, we don't have the hole on the other side. Yeah, okay, so, what? I'm sorry, but I find this a little bit excessive. For like, just like carve this out a little bit and make some, I don't know. I'll make like a different crouch piece. Well, okay. So we have all of this. I don't know, I'm just kind of like, for such a simple feature, we have like all this extra plastic. I guess they were trying to get something out of it. So we do have the folded up hands, which are very important. Getting the robot Shinji. I don't even know, did he have the hands folded up when he said that? I don't think so. But he has the hands folded up in front of his face like a lot of time. Then we have these holding hands, but he doesn't have anything to hold. But just in case you want to put like the lance in his hand or whatever. And then we have like these open booby grab hands. And then we have like these booby grab hands, which are a little bit more folded, but still standard stuff. And then we also have like this somewhat relaxed hand. I don't really know the significance. Maybe it's like, I don't know. But it's a hand. So, there you go. Final thoughts! And this figure is weird. I don't really know what to say. So, the mold's fine. The paint, clean for the most part. Articulation, some parts work very well, other parts not so much. Any accessories, you get like a different coat just to put his hand in the pants. That's it. You know what, the more I thought about it, you know what he really needed was like a table. A table and a chair to sit on so he could have his pose where he has the hands fold up, because we don't have that. Now he's just kind of floating in the air. Where's the chair? I don't know. I rather would have had like a chair and a table than this excessive like extra pieces just to put his hands in a pocket. Frick. I mean, I guess that's another like iconic pose or whatnot. So the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know, he's not the most nimble guy. He doesn't like a lot of articulated stuff in the show. So you probably were better off just buying a statue. So I bought this figure because I was just like, well, I have the Evangelion girls, and it's probably gonna look good with them, and especially if we maybe sometime in the next 10, 20 years get a Shinji figma, please, pretty please. But anyway, yeah, this figure I don't like. Also, it's expensive. Let's not forget about that. So if you're a big Gendo fan, and if you have like the Evangelion girls and you go like, oh, this goes well together, you can pick it up. But for everybody else, I don't feel very strongly about this one. Just gonna say it like that. Alright? That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, VTuber stuff, and whatever Gendoh Ikari wants. Get in the robot!